forecasting, it's exactly what you just said. It's not about predicting the future. It's about, mapping out various scenarios, and hopefully it's one of those scenarios that's unfold. So can you dive a little bit deeper into that for us?
Yeah. Look, to give you a really practical example, I'm working in a few weeks on a state level natural disaster exercise. So we're putting a scenario together to run a number of organisations through, and they'll be a mix of government agencies and private and publicly listed businesses. The scenario we're playing out is pretty much a worst case scenario natural disaster in a region of WA. And, there's no reason why that scenario couldn't happen. So far it hasn't in history, but there's actually nothing stopping it from happening. When we get into that exercise, there'll be some people who want to argue the detail. They'll go, oh, that's unrealistic, or what if it's, X amount of rain versus Y amount of rain, and they'll want to fight over the individual details. And the importance of scenario planning is actually not about that. It's more about what does this highlight for us? So if you're in a business at the moment that's kind of hanging on to the bar and you're wondering how long, then, in my mind, it's pretty prudent to go, okay, so if this doesn't stop, at the moment, our latest narrative is around the sort of 70 to 80% vaccinated and some of the freedoms that'll bring. I'm not convinced necessarily that that's any different to some of the previous narratives, like, we'll be out of this by Christmas or Easter, or some of the other timeframes that have been put on COVID over the 18 odd months we've been in the game. I reckon it's sensible to contemplate that worst case scenario and go, what would that look like and what would we have to do? It's hard. It's hard to do, it's painful to do that, but it gives you a sense of liberation and mental agility, I reckon, to contemplate those things.
I want to ask you...
I grew up in farming, and a lot of the old farmers used to say, plan for the worst, expect the best, and then accept what happens. And I think that's pretty good advice too.